Hey, Steelers Nation. We're back with an exclusive video packed with the latest updates on our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. This way, you never miss any exclusive updates or exciting Steelers news. Baker Mayfield has officially signed a 3-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers, sending shockwaves across the NFL and stirring up a whirlwind of reactions from fans, analysts, and players alike. This isn't just another quarterback finding a new home, this is a bold move by a franchise that's been searching for its next true leader under center ever since Ben Roethlisberger retired. And now, it's Mayfield who steps into that colossal shadow in the hopes of reviving a team that's spent the last few seasons flirting with mediocrity. The contract details haven't been officially disclosed yet, but sources close to the situation suggest it's a deal heavy with incentives, with the potential to pay out significantly if Baker can return to the form that once made him a number 1 overall pick. It's a bet by the Steelers not only on Mayfield's talent, but on his fiery personality and relentless competitiveness. Pittsburgh has long prided itself on toughness, grit, and identity, and in many ways, Mayfield embodies those qualities. Say what you want about his inconsistencies or his sometimes polarizing behavior, the man plays with heart. That might be exactly what Mike Tomlin was looking for, a quarterback who can inspire a locker room and ignite a fan base that's been growing restless with the team's recent offensive struggles. Kenny Pickett was supposed to be that guy, but after 2 rocky seasons plagued by injuries, misreads, and a lack of explosive plays, the Steelers finally seem ready to pivot. Mayfield, fresh of a surprisingly solid campaign with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, now finds himself with another chance to lead a franchise and re-establish himself as a top-tier starter in the league. It's a classic redemption arc waiting to unfold in one of football's most storied franchises. The decision to bring in Mayfield signals a philosophical shift for the Steelers. For years, they've operated conservatively when it comes to quarterbacks, preferring safe game managers over boom or bust playmakers. But watching teams like the Chiefs, Bills, and Bengals consistently contend with big-octane offenses may have finally pushed Pittsburgh to rethink its strategy. Mayfield's arm talent, mobility, and willingness to take risks downfield could inject the kind of offensive spark that's been missing from the black and gold since the latter years of Big Ben. Of course, it won't be all sunshine and touchdowns. Baker will need to prove he can stay healthy and consistent, and that his fiery demeanor won't backfire in a pressure-cooker city like Pittsburgh. Still, if he clicks with offensive coordinator Arthur Smith and finds chemistry with George Pickens and Deontay Johnson, the potential for fireworks is there. There is also the question of how this affects the locker room dynamic. Baker Mayfield isn't known for quietly fading into the background. Is loud, is passionate, and wears his emotions on his sleeve. That can be a double-edged sword in a team environment, especially one as structured and disciplined as Mike Tomlin's. But let's not forget, Tomlin has a history of managing big personalities. From Antonio Brown to Le'Veon Bell and even Roethlisberger himself, has handled ego with poise and professionalism. If anyone can keep Mayfield grounded while still unleashing his competitive edge, it's Tomlin. And if Baker feels like this is his last real shot at leading a contender, he might be more willing than ever to buy into the Steelers' culture. One thing is for certain, the quarterback room just got a lot more interesting, and every practice, every snap, and every post-game press is now must watch. Steelers fans are divided, and that's putting it lightly. Some are excited, even ecstatic, to finally see a quarterback who isn't afraid to let it rip and play with passion. Others are skeptical, still haunted by Mayfield's up-and-down tenure in Cleveland and wondering whether this is just another failed experiment waiting to happen. It's a fair concern. Mayfield's career has been a roller coaster, from his offensive Rookie of the Year level performance in 2018 to the chaos that followed in 2019 and 2020. But what often gets overlooked is his 2020 playoff run, where he led the Browns to their first postseason win in decades, and did it by outdueling the Steelers, no less. That memory alone will make some Pittsburgh fans uneasy. But maybe that's the point. Maybe it's time the Steelers embraced a little chaos, rolled the dice, and bigger than safe mediocrity. Mayfield's arrival also throws the quarterback depth chart into a blender. What does this mean for Kenny Pickett? ¿Does estrellas de backup, or is a trade on the horizon? And what about Mason Rudolph, who was serviceable when Calle de Pan but never quite moved the needle? The front office is staying tight-lipped for now, but speculation is already rampant. Pickett still has potential, but it's clear that the team has lost patience waiting for it to materialize. He might benefit from taking a backseat, learning behind Mayfield, or he might end up shipped to another team looking for a developmental project. Either way, Baker is now the face of the franchise, whether people like it or not. That's how he shift, and it brings both opportunity and immense pressure. He need to deliver, and fast, if he wants to quiet the doubters and justify the investment. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. One factor working in Mayfield's favor is the Steelers' infrastructure. Is walking into a situation where the defense is already elite, anchored by the relentless TJ Watt and one of the best defensive minds in the game in Mike Tomlin. That means Baker won't be asked to throw for 350 yards every game used to keep the team in it. Instead, he can play complementary football, take calculated risks, and lean on the defense when things get tight. That's a luxury he didn't always have in Cleveland or Carolina, and it's a key reason why his stint in Tampa went more smoothly. A strong supporting cast makes all the difference. If the offensive line can hold up and Najee Harris can return to his rookie year form, Mayfield will have all the tools he needs to succeed. It's a matter of execution, discipline, and trust. Then there is the fan engagement side of things. Mayfield has always had a polarizing public image, but he also brings attention, energy, and marketability. Whether it's his fiery on-field antics or his surprisingly charismatic media presence, it draws eyes. That could translate to a boost in jersey sales, ticket demand, and national primetime slots, things the Steelers haven't had much of in recent years. The NFL loves a comeback story, and Baker's got all the ingredients. If it starts hot and the team stacks up early wins, this storyline could dominate the league. Conversely, if things start to unravel, the criticism will be deafening. Pittsburgh is not known for patience when it comes to underperforming quarterbacks, and Mayfield won't get a long leash. But maybe that's exactly the kind of pressure he thrives under. From a league-wide perspective, this move sends a message: the Steelers aren't content with being a middle-of-the-pack team anymore. They're swinging for the fences, taking a calculated risk on a quarterback who still believes he can be special. That sort of mindset is contagious, and it could ripple throughout the locker room. Pittsburgh has long been known for its no-nonsense approach, but in today's NFL, sometimes you need a little flash to compete with the heavyweights. The AFC is loaded with star quarterbacks, and Mayfield now has the opportunity to prove he belongs in that elite conversation. He faced off twice a year against Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and Deshaun Watson, a gauntlet that will test every facet of his game. But if he rises to the occasion, this could be one of the most compelling redemption arcs we've seen in years. In the end, this is a marriage between a quarterback looking for respect and a franchise hungry to return to greatness. The pieces are all there. A stable organization, a legendary head coach, a hungry fan base, and a quarterback with something to prove. Baker Mayfield is now a Pittsburgh Steeler, and whether this ends in triumph or tragedy, one thing is guaranteed: it won't be boring. Football in the Steel City just got a whole lot more dramatic, more emotional, and more unpredictable. And in the NFL, sometimes that's exactly what it takes to spark something special. Buckle up, Pittsburgh, the Baker Mayfield era has begun. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.